forearm right here. Just look at that.
Chicks are going to dig it. We're live.
Hey,
hello
live.
and welcome
How you doing?
to today's episode of Teep Talk. I'm your host, Wes.
And I'm your co-host, Russ.
And today we're going to be talking about Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3.
Yes.
I think that Dana White is one of the most genius marketers of all time. Let me tell you why. Because he takes things that people want to see and he puts them on television.
Yep. That's right.
Moving on. No, that's not the full point that I was going to make. From the time that we've all been fans of the UFC, we've seen people come and go. We've seen personalities be made. There hasn't had to be any scripted events. We've seen Conor McGregor make himself into somebody that's iconic all by himself. He didn't have to be influenced to do that at all. He knew the game. There's a lot of people that do know the game. All of that, and they make themselves iconic and memorable. Some by way of talking and fighting, and some by way of just fighting. One of the arguably best people in the UFC doesn't even speak English because he simply doesn't want to. With that, we have a little bit of bittersweetness that gets added to it sometimes, whereas we're going through a time right now where we are beginning to witness the ending of an era, which, in lack of better terms, it is one of the best things ever for marketing a show because we know we're all going to watch it. There's a great possibility that this fight will be the last time that we hear Rihanna's Shine Bright Like a Diamond as Dustin Poirier walks out onto the octagon. Going up against someone who fights with him have been memorable, another modern-day legend of the sport, Max Holloway. The fights that have been with Max Holloway have been great to watch with Dustin Poirier. All of his fights are great to watch, but some of the most memorable fights with Dustin Poirier has been with Max Holloway. And this is going to be, I think, one of those tear-jerking moments in the UFC. Remember that one time when I cried whenever, that one guy got beat up by Alex Pereira, Khalil Roundtree? Remember that? Because it was just such a beautiful moment. And he just took it like a man.
I pretty much almost drowned.
Yes.
And from his tears.
I knitted him a sweater of tears.
Yes.
Man tears.
I had to buy scuba gear
for
this.
Man tears. I don't cry much. The Bible says Jesus wept. But it doesn't say that he wept all the time. So take with that what you will. That's something that I say a lot. Because I try not to cry a lot. But sometimes when something beautiful comes across, it gets to me. And I like to let it out. And it always happens at a UFC event. Or maybe a Joe Rogan podcast, when who was that one dude? Don Fry. When Don Fry was on there. He said some stuff, just kind of jerked a tear. Man tears, though. Man tears. I don't cry over a woman. Make that clear. I'm not going to cry over no woman. Ain't no woman going to break up with me and me cry about it. Because all I see out of that is an opportunity to lock in. And speaking of locking in, we are locked in on our predictions and our silliness coming from this fight. Now, Russell, let's start with you. What are your predictions?
Holloway's winning.
Yes.
Holloway's going to win the fight.
Holloway is.
Because Dustin has beat him twice already. And I know it's Dustin's retirement and everything, but Max has got it. I think Max is going to get this one for sure. It's probably going to be a decision.
I think it'll be a decision. And I also believe, well, I don't know. Do you think that maybe, just maybe, they give it to Dustin because it's the retirement fight? No.
I mean, you could say that.
They wouldn't do that because everyone's going to bet on Dustin because of the retirement fight. It's going to be Max Holloway all the way. Now, here's the thing. Two things we think might happen. Two props that if we ran FanDuel, the crown is yours.
DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm sorry. DraftKings, the crown is yours. I also use FanDuel as well.
Yes.
Which DraftKings should sponsor us so that we can have a foot in the door to give them these legendary props that they should be putting in for this fight. One of which is going to be a yes or no question. Will Max Holloway point to the middle of the octagon somewhere at the end of the fight?
I think he'll do it.
At
the end of the fight, let's do this.
He'll do it. Just for one last hoorah, to go out with a bang, to give this man the respect he deserves of beating the ever-loving piss out of each other for the last few seconds that he'll ever be in the octagon in front of a stadium full of people.
Yeah.
An arena full of people.
Giving Dustin an awesome fight is probably what's going to happen.
That's my prediction. If it goes all the way.
Max Holloway's going to win. It's probably going to be by decision. And he's going to point in the middle of the ring and say, let's do this.
Now, what do you think, Russell, is the over-under of the amount of times that Dustin Poirier pulls up his shorts? 36 and a half. Over or under 36 and a half times throughout the fight does he pull up his shorts? Over or under, what do you say?
Well, Max is going to give him a lot of striking and everything. So let's see. How many times will we have to get hit to go over or under? I'll go over.
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under because of the striking. I think he's not going to have as much time to tug at his shorts.
Change,
yeah.
To think, yeah.
Now I would say
under.
I would say over because of the nervousness, because it's his last. It's the last dance with Mary Jane. Okay, and he might be a little nervous because hey, he wants to win this time, but he's not got time to be nervous.
No,
he's going to shine bright like a diamond.
That's right.
And that is just our prediction for this fight. We got Max Holloway all the way. Now, does that mean that our opinion on this is going to change? No. I reserve my right to change my opinion whenever I find conflicting evidence of something different. Something, you know the saying. So check this out. For now, until something else comes up to where I look at it or he looks at it and says, maybe there's a chance, because it's pretty far ahead in the future. You know, the universe could explode by the time this happens. Never know. Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, they could both get hit by a bus tomorrow. I don't know.
Which we do pray that does not happen.
Yes. But it could. But that's just our prediction. Max Holloway all the way by decision. Do you have anything else, Russ? Also, under 36 and a half shorts pull-ups for Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, I have other news. So, Duplessis.
Yes.
Apparently got injured. Now, what I want to go over is if Kazmat does not fight him, who are his potential opponents going to be if he doesn't get to fight Duplessis? You know, sometimes the champion's out. What do you do? Interim middleweight is what it would be, right? So
I actually have something for that for our next video.
What? For the opponents?
Yes. I actually have something crazy for this whole thing.
I have 2 written down right now.
Well, but I was going to go in depth.
In depth?
In depth.
Should we wait?
We should wait.
I will have my notes
This
saved.
is a whole video in
I
and
will
of itself.
have my notes saved for the next one.
This is a whole nother video in and of itself. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Teep Talk. I'm your host, Wes. This is my co-host, Russ. And as always, like, subscribe, and share this video with your dad.
Yes.
Share this video with your dad and tell him to watch us. Because we're kind of entertaining.
We are.
And as always, God bless.